I've seen way too many friends splurge on budget gaming laptops that promise a smooth 1080p experience, only to find themselves wrestling with stuttered frame rates and thermal throttling a week after the warranty starts. The regret that follows is usually a mix of wasted money and the feeling that they could have saved a ton by waiting for a better option. That's why today I'm looking at the ASUS ROG Strix G18, a machine that's positioned as a no-compromise, all-in-one gaming rig for people who are tired of the cheap alternative nightmare. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why the G18 feels different from the usual high-spec on paper, low-performer in practice laptops that flood the market. The core of the machine is the Intel Ultra 9275HX, a 12-core processor that's built for both heavy multitasking and sustained gaming loads. Pair that with the brand new Nvidia RTX 5080 with 16GB of GDDR7 memory, and you've got a GPU that doesn't just hit 1440p. It actually holds up at 240 Hz on a 2.5K display without dipping into the thermal emergency shutdowns that plague many high-end notebooks. In my everyday workflow editing video clips, running virtual machines for work, and then dropping into a 40-minute session of Cyberpunk 2077, the laptop never asked me to lower settings to stay playable. That kind of consistency is a practical strength you can actually feel, not just read on a spec sheet. The premium ROG Nebula display is another place where the G18 separates itself from the crowd. It's a 2.5K panel that pushes 240 Hz, which means that fast-paced shooters feel buttery smooth, and the color accuracy is high enough for content creators who need reliable sRGB coverage. In practice, I noticed a real advantage when I switched from a 1080p 144 Hz monitor to this laptop screen. My aim in Valorant became noticeably steadier because the higher refresh eliminated motion blur. The downside, however, is that the brightness peaks at about 350 nits, bright enough for most indoor lighting, but if you plan to game on a sunlit balcony you'll still need a shade. Cooling has been a hot topic for every high-performance notebook, and ASUS's ROG Intelligent Cooling System lives up to its hype. The dual-fan array with vapor chamber technology keeps the CPU and GPU temperatures under 85°C even after an hour of continuous AAA gaming. The practical win here is that the laptop stays relatively quiet. You won't hear a constant whine that makes you think the machine is about to explode. The trade-off is a slightly thicker chassis, about 2.2 cm, so you lose a bit of the ultra-slim aesthetic you see on some portable gaming laptops. If you value a sleek silhouette above all, this could be a sticking point. Now, let's dig into daily usability. The G18 ships with 64GB of DDR5 RAM and a 4TB SSD, which translates to instant load times for massive game libraries and the ability to run several demanding applications side by side without any lag. For someone who runs a streaming setup, OBS, a video editing suite, and a Discord server all while gaming, the extra memory and storage mean I never had to juggle what to keep on the drive. The downside is the price tag that comes with that capacity. If you're only a casual gamer who plays a handful of titles, you might be overpaying for RAM and SSD space you'll never fully utilize. One of the hidden conveniences is the inclusion of Windows 11 Pro plus a lifetime Microsoft Office Pro license, bundled with the GizPro dock. The dock gives you a full desktop experience with HDMI 4K output, Ethernet, and multiple USB-C ports, turning the laptop into a workstation in seconds. In a real-world scenario, I was able to hook the G18 to a 27-inch monitor, plug in a wired Ethernet cable for stable online play, and keep my peripherals on a single dock. It eliminated the messy cable jungle that usually follows a gaming laptop setup. The trade-off is that the dock is an extra piece of hardware to carry around if you're traveling, which slightly dents the all-in-one claim. So, who should actually buy the ASUS ROG Strix G18? If you're a serious gamer who refuses to compromise on frame rates, a content creator who needs a machine that can handle rendering and gaming without swapping devices, or a professional who wants a laptop that doubles as a desktop workstation, this is a solid match. The combination of the Ultra 9 CPU, RTX 5080 GPU, and massive memory/storage means the machine will stay relevant for several years, even as game engines evolve. On the other hand, if your primary use is occasional indie games, or you're on a tighter budget and can live with a 1080p 144Hz screen, you'll probably get better value by stepping down a tier. The G18 size, weight, and price make it less ideal for backpack-carrying students or frequent travelers who need something featherlight. A practical weakness worth mentioning is battery life. With a 99Wh pack, the laptop can manage about 3.5 hours of mixed-use gaming, streaming, and a bit of office work before you need to plug in. That's typical for a machine of this power, but if